You listen. You are not the fault of the things that happen to you. Okay.
What's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bullshit sometimes, and that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Like, with that, bro, this crazy talk. I know it happened, bro.
Well then,
I know.
so what, you want to tell it or not? Because either you're going to hold it in and let it destroy your life, or you just going to tell it now, or you don't even have to tell it. You want other people to tell it, but see, people are not going to sit there and say stuff for you, Bryshere, and then you get scared and be like, oh.
What you just heard is exactly why this Bryshere Gray situation keeps pulling people back in. Because this is not just another fallen star story. This is a young actor who came into Hollywood with talent, fame, music, and a major TV role. And years later, fans are watching him speak like someone carrying a weight he still cannot fully explain. Now the internet is connecting his pain to powerful names around him, especially Will and Jada. But let's be clear, a lot of those claims are still alleged and heavily disputed. What is confirmed is that Bryshere's rise was fast and his fall became public.
This, till today, is still one of the scariest transformations I've ever seen in my life. To go from this, fine, young, rich, millions of followers, you know what I'm saying? You could start any business you want, you could do whatever you want, you are known around the world, into this, in a matter of years? Baby, this ain't just...
And that reaction right there is why people say something deeper may have happened behind the scenes. Because when somebody goes from a breakout Fox star to being discussed online for breakdowns, arrests, and disturbing behavior, viewers start asking questions. Not every rumor deserves to be treated like fact, but the pattern is still hard for fans to ignore. Something shifted. Something changed. And now, every clip of Bryshere speaking emotionally makes people wonder what part of the story still has not been told.
You listen. You are not the fault of the things that happen to you. Okay? You did not lose any, listen, listen. You did not lose any, listen, Brian. Listen.
Go ahead.
You did not lose anything. You had a little trouble, and it happens. Just get back. Just get back. Learn from it. Do your music. Put your story into your music. Make it 20 times better. I always told you,
I got one try.
You don't have one. The thing is, if you believe in God, God is the God.
After that emotional live, the conversation around Bryshere got even louder. His friend later suggested that Bryshere was carrying fear, pressure, and memories that he was not ready to fully put on camera. And that is where the public started splitting into two sides. One side said Bryshere needed privacy, therapy, and real support. The other side believed he was hinting at something much darker inside Hollywood. This is also why Taraji P. Henson keeps getting brought into the conversation by fans. Taraji has been vocal for years about mental health, especially in the black community, through the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. And she knows what pressure in Hollywood can do to people. That does not mean every viral claim attached to her name is confirmed, but it explains why fans believe she would understand the emotional side of Bryshere's situation. Before all this chaos, Bryshere's story looked like a dream. He came out of Philadelphia as Yaz the Greatest, performing locally, building a music name, and eventually landing the role of Hakeem Lion on Empire. That role changed everything. The show became one of the biggest hip-hop dramas on television, and Bryshere was suddenly standing beside Taraji, Terrence Howard, and Jussie Smollett while millions watched every week. And the industry saw him as more than an actor. He had music potential too. Reports connected him to Columbia Records during the Empire wave, and interviews from that time showed how close his path was to Charlie Mack, a longtime figure connected to Will Smith's circle. That is where the next Will Smith talk started. To the public, it looked like mentorship. To online critics now, that same mentorship is being re-examined in a much darker light.
Watching him, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he's gonna be all right.
That public support sounded harmless at the time. A young star, an older superstar, a trusted manager, and a promise that discipline would take him to another level. But years later, fans are looking back at that same moment differently. In Hollywood, mentorship can be a blessing, but it can also become a power imbalance when a young performer depends on older gatekeepers for access, protection, and opportunities. That is why the conversation keeps expanding beyond Bryshere. People online often compare his situation to other stories where young artists were allegedly placed around powerful figures before they fully understood the business. Some of those stories are proven. Some are rumors. Some are repeated by insiders but never tested in court. So the safest way to say it is this. Bryshere's career was clearly tied to major industry relationships very early, and once his life began unraveling, fans started questioning whether those relationships helped him or exposed him to pressure he was not ready for. And when people bring up the old Fresh Prince story, they are usually talking about how one Hollywood opportunity can completely change a life overnight. For Will Smith, that moment made him a superstar. For Bryshere, fans fear the same kind of access may have come with a price.
NBC before Fresh Prince.
Right.
And we turned that down. And they end up getting that. How'd that work out?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it went back. I was going to talk about that.
In the cartoon series, that we told our people to tell Warren Littlefield, who was running NBC at the time, we was like, man, this is how smart we were, right? We was like, man, fuck your fucking TV show. You clip this cartoon, we don't want it. We don't want your sitcom. Fucking tear up the shit. We don't want to do a sitcom with you if you cut the cartoon. That's what we told them. And our management was like, you motherfuckers are crazy. What the you fucking Queens motherfuckers. And that's what we did. So they, you know what I'm saying? That deal went away. That's the deal and Jeff and them, Will and them slid right up in that. That was the shit. We'd have had that shit first. We'd have had both.
Oh yeah, Quincy Jones said,
how'd that work out? What happened to Will Smith? What happened to that guy?
He does movies every so often.
And this is where another story gets pulled into the debate. Comedian Bert Kreischer once told a Hollywood story about being invited into a situation that made his own family question the real intention behind it. Now, that does not prove anything about Bryshere, but to fans it adds to the larger question. How often does Hollywood call something mentorship when the power dynamic is actually much more complicated?
He liked me. He was like, let's go see a movie. I was like, okay.
You guys went to a movie.
I called my dad and I was like, I got in the car. My dad goes, how'd it go? I go, it went great. He was like, really? And I said, yeah, we're going to the movies. My dad's like, what? I go, we're going to the movies. And he was like, want a date? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I really didn't ask. Like, I was just needing. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, what, you and him are going to the movies together? I was like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, it's at Planet Hollywood. And he was like, they have a movie theater there? I was like, Dad, I don't know. Maybe we'll go get lunch there and dinner and then we'll go to the movies? And he was like, oh, buddy. He's trying to fuck you. I go, what? And he goes, listen, this is very popular in Hollywood. These guys have had so much pussy, they get tired of it. And so they're trying to turn out young.
After clips like that, viewers started looking at Bryshere's situation through a different lens. The internet began asking whether he was protected, pressured, or simply overwhelmed by the kind of access that comes with being around elite Hollywood names. Jada's name gets pulled into this because her personal life with Will has already been publicly discussed, especially after the August Alsina situation became a major red table talk moment. But Bryshere's situation is not the same thing, and nothing should be treated as confirmed unless it is backed by real evidence. Still, the rumors did not come out of nowhere. They grew because Bryshere appeared emotional, unstable, and afraid in different clips, while other online personalities claimed there were things happening behind the scenes. Then brother Bilal entered the picture with explosive stories about the Smith family's private world. The problem is, those claims have been strongly denied by Will and Jada's side in related reporting, with representatives calling certain allegations completely false. So for a monetization-safe story, the focus has to stay on what can be said responsibly. Serious allegations exist online, the Smith family has denied similar claims, and Bryshere's public decline made fans wonder what really happened during those years.
Chicago for Empire, it's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
Same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. You know, he said, you know Will raped me. You know Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, listen, somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of other, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm going to let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do. Period. And I got to have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Oh.
I'm under penalty of perjury. If anything in here is a lie, my ass going to jail. Period. There's no ifs, there's no ends, there's no buts. You know what you and Diddy was doing together in y'all younger years. All that's coming out.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up. Period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth. Allegedly. So it's time for everybody that got a credible story, I should say.
And then Terrence Howard's words made the whole conversation feel even heavier.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a...
After that, fans looked at Bryshere's later years and saw a disturbing pattern. The major TV momentum slowed down. Legal trouble followed. Public concern grew. In 2020, police reported a domestic violence arrest, and in 2021, he was sentenced after pleading guilty in that case. Those are documented facts. But what caused his personal spiral is still where the debate begins. Some people see accountability, others see a young performer who may have needed serious help long before everything became public.
When I'm in Chicago, this guy's acting erratic. Crazy. He's getting stopped by the cops. There's male prostitutes involved. There's mental illness involved. There's drug use involved. And I'm really trying to see what happened to this guy. And one day he said, you know what happened. You know that Will R-worded me, or however y'all gotta say it on YouTube. You know that Diddy sexually assaulted me. And you know Charlie Mack made me suck his private part. Right? And I'm like, whoa.
And that brings the story back to the biggest question. Is Bryshere ready to speak clearly, or is he still too afraid of what comes next? Because right now, the public only has pieces. They have emotional clips. They have old interviews. They have legal records. They have online accusations. They have denials. And they have fans trying to connect a timeline that is still full of missing parts. Taraji's name keeps coming up because people know she has been outspoken about mental health and Hollywood pressure. But unless she makes a direct public statement about Bryshere and the Smiths, that part should be treated as fan speculation, not confirmed truth. The same goes for every extreme claim attached to Will, Jada, or anyone else. This story can be dramatic without turning rumors into facts. What cannot be ignored is that Bryshere Gray was once one of the brightest young faces on Empire. He had music, fame, access, and industry support. Then years later, he became a figure people were worried about instead of cheering for. Whether his story is about trauma, bad choices, exploitation, mental health, or all of it mixed together, fans still want answers. So now the question is simple. Will Bryshere ever tell his story in full in his own words, with proof behind it? Or will the internet keep filling in the blanks for him? Drop your thoughts below and make sure you like and subscribe for more celebrity stories, industry drama, and deep dive breakdowns.